Here we are in the front of the garden, and we have a beautiful plant here. Guess what this is called? A Brazilian cloak. And this is hummingbird attractant. I think hummingbird we saw a couple days ago, but it was actually going to fire bush. But I think when this starts to bloom, and it is starting to bloom, there's another flower here, and the leaves are big, so I think it is a beautiful plant with nice flowers. It does tend to grow wide a little bit, so it can be under a tree, um, or if you have to hide something ugly behind, or like in front of something that you want to not to be seen, it really is a good plant to have. Another significance for us is it was planted exactly a year ago, and 1 year since my wife graduated from the Master Gardeners program from Miami-Dade Extension Office. Behind here you can see it has doubled in size since 2019. This is the Manila tamarind. It does have these thorns. Yes, it has. It hasn't fruited yet. It was a seedling, so this is year 3. Probably 2 more years we will wait, but it's growing fast, so hopefully it will give a fruit soon. Behind the Manila tamarind is a dwarf mulberry, but to reach there we will have to go through this beautiful plant which is attracting a lot of bees. I can now see probably like 50 bees, give or take. This is called joy weed, and our bunnies, they really like this. So if you want to have bunnies in your garden, and if you are having bunnies as pets, so don't forget to feed them from your garden, because you don't have to buy kibbles from the pet store somewhere. They really like to eat fresh, and it's actually good for their health. So one weed that they really like is this one. It's called joy weed. It looks beautiful, it attracts bees, and it's a food source for your loved ones. Look at this area, it looks a little wild. There is a porter weed there, that's non-native porter weed, which is also a butterfly attractant, and behind that you can see the dwarf ever-bearing mulberry. It's loaded with fruits, so every 1 or 2 days we go and pick some of the fruits that are turning black, and that's when they are ripe. And on the right of it is a white mulberry, which is very leggy. I'm not sure whether we will be keeping it in ground or in a pot. Behind that you see there are different varieties of bananas. Some of them are really sweet, some of them we don't know what cultivars they are. There is a dwarf one in front here that hasn't fruited, but we will see how they go. Once we enter from the main gate of our garden, we first encounter this beautiful plant here. This is the galangal. Galangal, the root of it we use in Thai cuisines, and red curry, green curry, yellow curry, pad Thai, whatever you want to make, you put galangal there. This plant we try to find out in Florida to trade it with any of the friends who are growing veggies, but none of them had. So it comes all the way from Oklahoma, from our friend Krista, and we are really grateful that she gave us a small, and now it's grown into this, and we are ready to share if someone wants. So please let us know, and our email is in the link below. So this area had nothing before. It only had the mame tree, and we tried mame a couple of times. We were not really great fans of it, but we still want one tree at least in the garden. So what we did was we root pruned it. It was already this size. We root pruned it and left it for a week or so, and then we transplanted into one of these pots. This is made from recycled plastic. Looks like the good thing about it is it's porous, so water drips from everywhere when you water. The advantage of this is that the roots, when they come close to here, in a regular pot they would start to go around and make a circle, and eventually those roots will keep on circling. But here they get root pruned because these are air um, air pruned, let's say, because of the air. Once the root reaches here, it sees that it's air, it's not solid, so it will, instead of going around, it will just get pruned. So what you get with time is that lot of roots will be there instead of one or two roots circling around in a regular pot. So we really like this pot, and we will see. Looks like the plant also took, obviously the old leaves will fall after transplant, which is okay, but overall the tree seems to be doing okay. And in place of this, we will be planting, actually we have planted one avocado. This is the Maria Black variety, seems like a new variety in town, and it's like a mid to early late around September October season avocado. We will see how it goes. One thing about avocado is you can see that I have planted it in a mound, so it's much higher than the regular area, because avocados don't like wet feet, but they like well-drained soil. They don't like wet, that roots will rot and have infection if they are in water for long time. But the superficial roots, they love to be under mulch. They love the wet, moist mulch atmosphere. So don't forget to elevate your avocado if you have a low water table like us, and also don't forget to give a lot of mulch around. Not just, I see online that people put this much mulch around the tree and that's it. No, that's not going to help, because eventually the tree roots will go beyond this small area, go into your nice beautiful lawn as well. So please mulch if you really love the tree, and that way you don't have to fertilize a lot as well, because mulch gives a lot of nutrients that's needed, because the millipoo who will come to decompose the mulch, they will be giving the nutritious millipoo, so that will help. Seems like our garden protector wants to be in the video as well. So she was sleeping and all of a sudden she wanted to come, so here she is, and she likes to be in the video all the time. So she's a ex-model. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos. They are all full of her her suits and her advertisement videos. YouTube is full of them. I don't have to even give an introduction. Just Ava the Star, if you put, and you'll see all her past portfolios. Now back to plants. So this is Indian jujube. It was really sprawling and crawling, so I decided to chop a lot of bottom branches. Now it looks a little better, but the sacrifice was that we did not have any flowers. It dropped all the flowers this season. So normally we would get fruits in January here in South Florida from them, but this year we do not have any fruits. Moving forward to this place, we have another seedling guava. This seedling guava still has not fruited. 2019, looks a little taller than before, but no fruits yet, so I can't comment how good the fruits will be, because this one is supposed to be an Indian cultivar, which is white and big. Maybe next year video we can update if it gives fruit in summertime. Same with this here. The jackfruit here is a black gold variety. We planted it a long time ago, and a couple days ago I was trying to find out whether it was a grafted or a seedling. A seedling will take a bit longer, 3 to 4 years to give fruit. Good thing about it is that it hasn't really grown too fast, because jackfruits tend to overgrow and really need to be cut back, but this has remained dwarf naturally, and it's cold tolerant. So black gold variety is good, but we haven't tasted the fruit yet, so I don't know. I can't comment how good it would be. This is another plant here which is doing good. We think this is a red lady, but the way it is growing and the shape of it, it looks like a seedling from a papaya that our friend gave. So once it fruits, we will be able to tell. We utilize this small space between the jackfruit and the guava with Lipia alba the leaves of this plant can be made into tea, and they have a very they have a calming effect in the mind, so it's good to take this tea before sleep. And now they also are supposed to give you a good sleep, and it has been said that they also have antidepressant or mood elevating properties, so it's a really good plant to have. Just for the tea, it has a really strong mixture of mint, peppermint. I can't say until you really try this tea, but see, it's a small plant. You can plant it anywhere, and it's kind of it's a neglect plant. Plus, you can attract a lot of bees. They like to come here. Another plant that is here is an elderberry. So elderberry also likes a lot of mulch. It really grew fast after we mulched this area, and it hasn't given fruits yet, but it looks really happy. And this also, I think we had brought as a small plant, and Cynthia Sefer gave it. So it's growing well now. Behind that, it's just a self-seeded firebush, which actually is growing very, very well. It also seems to like the mulch in this area, and a lot of butterflies. You can even see some butterflies there, and one day we even saw a hummingbird actually come to this firebush. So it looks like a really good plant to have, and it's a native as well. This year we got to eat one fruit, one avocado from this Oro Negro. Good thing about it is that it's really like a dwarf variety, and it does have its usual diseases that avocados here in South Florida have. You can see there is some white flies. Also, it has this common disease that avocado gets. These are from Nishikawa avocado. I put them 10 days ago, and we will see what happens. Actually, we brought these scions for a neighbor's avocado tree, which was a Florida hasp, but which wasn't really growing and looked really poor. So I heard that Nishikawa is a fast grower, and she has a lot of space, and she wanted the tree to really grow fast and thrive. So 5 or 6 scions were grafted on that tree. Let's see how it does. And we are right now standing in our arch garden, and this is a really strong arch. And what we have planted here is, so zucchinis are planted, and some cucumbers are planted, and gourd can be planted. We'll see how they do. So far they are doing okay. We just saw that one plant was plucked yesterday evening, probably by a raccoon, but otherwise this arch really seems to do well. They will take over and make the whole thing green, and so it really looks good as well. It's pretty strong. Moving along, we'll be showing you some plants that are daily source of greens for us. We eat them every day in our curry. These are called kalalus. We knew about them from a Jamaican vegan restaurant that we go to eat once in a while, called Tree Lion. So people there always have a kalalu dish, and we really liked it, eating that, and we thought, okay, why not have it? And we didn't know what it was. We initially thought it's like an annual green leafy, like the mustard leaves, but turns out that they are perennial. They have seeds which just sprout and make a new plant, and they do not compete with trees. Although you see they look like trees, the roots are pretty superficial. Bad thing about it is that you can see that a lot of leaves are being eaten, but we always have abundance of them. So as we go forward, we have another plant that turns out that this is an amaranth, and it's edible as well. And we tried to eat once already, and it was nice, tasty. You can even eat the flowers. On this side, in our previous video in 2018, I'm not sure whether we had planted this banana at that time or not. This is a Mysore variety. small bananas but very sweet. This is our first time fruiting this banana, and behind this banana we have sorry, we have a small area which is very shaded right now. I think eventually we'll try to remove some of the shade. There is a new lychee that was in the pot for a long time. We planted this, and we'll have to see. Someone is eating our lychee. Looks like it's a caterpillar. So we'll have to research what it really is and how they do. I'm standing in front of our noni tree. It's not far from the jackfruit, but it seems like this is the height we want to keep this, and that as well, a little bit taller than this, but that will be the height. So a little bit about this noni tree we didn't discuss last time. It's a beautiful tree, as you can see, but it also fruits. This is the noni fruit. It starts off green like this, and then it grows a little bit bigger like this, and then it becomes a little bit bigger and the color changes to white like this, and then eventually it becomes soft like this. And these are seeds, but the middle, like this whole portion is edible, and this smells like cheese and it can be used as cheese. But there is another important way of using it if you don't like the smell of it, because some people don't like the smell of its really strong smell. Pungent probably is a way to tell it, but there is another way to get all the good benefits of noni fruit. What we can do is we can ferment it. So this is what you can do. You can put the fruits into a jar, leave it in the sun for, I think it's 8 weeks, and after 8 weeks the juice is good to go. Even without refrigeration, the qualities, the health benefits of this will stay the same for 2 years. I don't have to tell all the health benefits of noni. You can go online and check. It has antibacterial, anti-cancer, many different properties it has. Many people don't eat it because the smell is really horrible for many, but once it gets fermented, one spoon a day, and it doesn't taste, it tastes like a juice, and like prune juice, and you will easily be able to take it, and it has a lot of health benefits. So noni tree, good ornamental tree, does get big, but you can always trim it to stay small, and good fruit, a good health fruit to have. And this is the space that we had in between, and we have a raised bed into a fabric pot or fabric raised bed. So this is an experiment to see how it will go. You can see a lot of food savings. We have planted zucchini here, and some sunflower in the middle, and so far we saw that they've been being eaten by some kind of bugs, but no major damage so far. So after this, all the way there is the mango garden. It starts from here, that is the M4, it's a late variety. Behind that, this is the seedling of a fruit that we really like from the friend, so Patrick Micus. So we have so far called it a Micus mango tree. Last year it flowered, it never fruited, but hopefully last year flower were 1 or 2 flowers that got aborted. This year I'm really hoping, because it hasn't flushed for months now, so I'm really hoping that flowers will come out soon. I will do a separate section of all the mangoes, but right now we have around 35-36 varieties of mangoes total. Some are multi-grafted, so total 35-36 varieties of mangoes, and I think they deserve to be in a separate section, so we'll not go into that. This is another arch garden that looks a little scraggly down there. We plan to make, we have sunchokes here, but we will try to organize them this year, so it's a work in progress. Fairchild mango tree, not sure if it's blooming yet. We did have a cold snap couple of I think some flowers will come out soon. So let's hope for a good 2020 mango season. Because of this cold and dry spell, most of the trees might be flowering soon. They have started to flower up north, but ours here have not flowered yet. So we are now in the connecting to the home area. So that area is the Zen garden. You can see we didn't do much changes in the Zen garden this year. The Barbados cherry was loaded with fruits. Then we started to see that it has a new problem, and the problem is the fruit fly would go into the fruits like they do with guava, and they distort the fruits and they make the fruits ripe unevenly, and they won't mature well, the fruits. So you can see this that I was talking about. So these small punctured scabs around, small scabs, these are the entry points for the fruit fly to go in, and they go in and they hatch inside. Once they go in and hatch, they go in when the fruit is still green, and they make the fruit ripen early, but it won't be ripening well, and the fruit is disfigured and it does not taste well. So common problem here in our garden, except for whiteflies and mealybugs, is now the fruit fly. We cannot bag each of the Barbados cherries, so we will have to find out another way, probably a biological predator. We'll have to research into that. So I think this might be because the tree was a bit stressed from the dryness. We are going to mulch it. We don't believe in artificial fertilizers, so we probably would be putting Langbeinite and Azomite for minerals and mulch it and give it more vigor, and see if that will help with the pest problem. We'll give you a sneak peek of our Zen garden. It hasn't been mulched this year, so it may not look as beautiful as it was last year, but we have the loquat growing there, and we have the bamboos and the kaffir lime still there. Okay, if you love butterflies, then this is the plant to have. It's a native Florida plant, and it attracts tons of yellow swallowtail butterfly. We got these as seeds and they grew very fast. They haven't flowered for us yet, but the flowers look pink and nice clusters, and we really like the flowers. This grows as a sprawling vine, so this is called a coral vine or a Cherokee bean, and it's very easy to grow. It grows into a vine. You can use a trellis to support it, and I'm sure you'll really love the color of flowers. And when you see the pollinators come in and fly around all day, you will love that sight. So if you want to make your garden happy, then you have to make your pollinators happy, and when that happens, it becomes like a musical orchestra. You would be going back to the Garden of Eden. Thank you for watching. It was a really long video, almost an hour, but we couldn't fit all our plants into this 1 hour. There were many that we missed out, and I'm kind of remembering right now. We didn't talk about the black sapoti, we didn't talk about the Garcinia cambogia, we didn't talk about the hummingbird tree and the different kinds of edible ferns, all the fragrant flowers that we have here. Seems like they deserve a different section. And we didn't talk about the Java plum or jamun tree. We didn't talk about the peanut butter tree, and all the different varieties of mangoes that also probably will deserve a different section. We didn't show you the air layering, different air layering methods that we are doing it. But I think we'll make a separate section for air layering and grafting as well. Before we go, I would like to tell you something more about this garden. With all the diversity and all the different plants that we have, and so much to learn about the ways of making the soil richer, pesticide-free gardening and sustainable gardening. There is so much to learn from this garden, but one more thing, if you are interested, is meditation. So this is a meditation garden, and there is area for meditation at the back of our garden. So if you are new to meditation, if you just want to come relax, get yourself, just shake the stress out of your body after a week's stressful work or stressful life, you can always come here. I have 15 years of meditation and many years of teaching meditation as well, so I will be happy to share with you whatever I have learned, different techniques from what I have learned from my teachers, and techniques that have helped many people get to a more stress-free and happy life. So if you want to learn meditation, this is a place to come. If you want to learn about sustainable gardening and growing fruits, growing vegetables, growing fragrant plants, growing medicinal plants, you can always let us know. You can email us. Our email will be provided in the link below, and everyone is welcome. Thank you.